to our third Focus Listen session. We're excited to have Bill Weiser, our CTO, join us this month as we have a number of different changes happening in our technology department that we want to share with you. So welcome, Bill, and welcome back, BenJoe.
What's up?
So, Bill, just to kind of get us started, I think everybody's probably aware of the big migration to Office 365, but we want to make sure that we can share a little bit more insight too during this session as to, why, what, how, all those different things that we made this decision. Can you start off by just sharing why we have transitioned to Office 365?
Yeah, so I think you're right. Everyone's probably aware because they're in the middle of it one way or another. People are kind of having to make this transition. So Focus has been kind of in an in-between spot for a long time when it comes to some of our products. In particular, email is the one that kind of stands right out of, some people are in the focusservices.com exchange server platform. Some people are over here in focusservices.email. So there was always this kind of back and forth on who is where and how do they know about each other and how do I know who to contact and which of the two emails they're on. So some of it kind of stemmed from this desire to kind of, especially as the company continues to grow and we see more and more users to get us in a centralized tool for email. But at the same time, we also saw this, the benefit, and this again goes back to kind of not having the same tools. So as many of you, if you've been here for 6 months or longer, for sure, you've noticed like sometimes some people have Office tools and sometimes people have been using Gmail or Google stuff to share files. And sometimes people have been using OpenOffice and didn't have access to the actual Microsoft Office suite. So we really started working on a plan to bring everyone together into a single platform and allow, I guess, for just smoother, easier communication between everyone within the company, everyone in a management role, at least within the company, to be able to communicate and see the news and see what's going on. We started that a little bit, maybe 2 years ago now with Workplace, where we were able to be in a similar communication platform and have everyone there together. Saw a lot of benefit out of that. And certainly if you guys have been able to use that, some of the benefits that came from that. In particular, if you were here before, that was an option. But now we're kind of seeing this benefit of bringing, simplifying our tool set into one common tool set for everyone. Whether you're a coach or a director or the owner of the company, everyone's kind of in that same tool set, same email solution, same chat and communication platform. And so I think that's going to be a huge, huge benefit for us. So we're really excited about it.
That's great. No, I'm excited too, just from a marketing aspect, so that we can get some of these messages out to everyone a little bit easier. So we'll be sharing this Focus Listen session via Teams, our newsletter, our From the Desk of the CEO, our end of the month culture activity review. All that will now be much easier for our employees to access that communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, just around the file management and sharing of reports and coordinating and working together on projects or those type of things, I think have long been kind of a little bit difficult or at least awkward because we didn't know how to share stuff between us. We're emailing reports back and forth. Someone makes a tweak and then they email it back to someone else and they make a tweak and they email it back, and you kind of have this back and forth and can last for days. Really, it's just not very efficient. So I think this new system will really cement the ability to be able to see that together and work on things together at the same time, and it also opens up everyone, we're on Zoom right here recording, but I'm guessing next month we'll all be on Teams and doing this
Right.
in Teams, right? So it also gives everyone in the channel the ability now to meet this way. And where, the pandemic's kind of opened our eyes a little bit too on being remote and working remotely out of necessity in many occasions. But now I think we see the benefit of some of that and being able to still be together and coordinated as a team. And I think Teams and the video conferencing features and some of those other features of this suite of tools will really help continue to improve that.
I agree.
Yeah, and if I could add to that, Bill, first of all, you guys have just done a phenomenal job in transitioning this over. It's not easy to do this. If people knew the amount of blood, sweat, and tears and late night hours and broken email accounts and things that you guys tried to put together, they would be blown away. But I had an experience today where I had an issue that was coming up to the point where I would normally just send an email. And I know that this type of an email was going to get a lot of bounce back. It would get replied by 2 or 3 different people over the course of 3 or 4 hours. And if you've ever come into a conversation late in an email, you kind of have to follow back and look at all the different things. And then sometimes you'll answer, but your question was already answered. And so now you're kind of redundant. It's extremely frustrating. And so instead, I just went to chat and I created a chat, added the people, changed the subject of that group to that topic. And then I outlined, my format, just like I would in a regular email, even attached a couple of files. And man, we just had this beautiful fluid conversation that went down. And one person at one point even said, "BenJoe, I'm really sorry. I kind of gave a long answer." I was like, but it was so easy to read in this format. So I didn't mind. And then the other person came in way late, but he was like, "It was so easy. I just scrolled to the top and read my way down. And then I knew where we were."
Yeah.
And liked different things that I thought. So it made it so easy.
And for me, like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I'm guessing you have. One of my biggest pet peeves is getting an email that says, "Hey, to your point, BenJoe, in a few layers of responses that you haven't been a part of. And at some point there was a file attached to the email, but has no longer been attached for the last 3
Gone now.
replies. But now you're asked a question about that file that you don't have. So how many times have you replied
Adding
back and
Bill.
said, yeah, no file attached or whatever? And those type of things, I think, email is awesome. We all love email, and it absolutely has its place, and it's super beneficial in many cases. But I think the next level above email for us is Teams and that common sharing of information back and forth, just like you're
Right.
saying, is so much more efficient.
My personal goal is April 1st. Anybody who replies to me internally via email, I will be replying back in a chat. And even if that means I have to copy and paste their email in. But I've just found it to be very smooth the way to communicate. And also I get I don't know about you guys, but in there you get an email. I have it set I think every hour or every 2 hours, I get an email telling me all the chats I've missed.
Yeah, right.
So I get a list that says you have not answered all these chats. I'm like, oh, okay, great. People are communicating. But kind of back to your point, Bill, I'll get that plus BenJoe, but I don't see the email for 5 hours.
Right.
So by the time I've seen it, more people have replied and the file is way gone and I'm super lost. Sometimes I just delete the email sometimes. Like, well, if you really need me involved, let me know.
Yeah.
But with that chat, anyway, that's just
I'm
one
with
of
you.
the.
I'm with you on that too. And I've also found that a lot of times, we're busy. Everyone's kind of busy, but I'll get in that mode where we're working on something, and like you, I can't get to my email for a day in some cases. And by the time I get there, people have been replying and are making false assumptions, which really I could have fixed a long time ago had I given the information, and saved people a lot of time too, right? So there's a lot of benefit to it. Everyone's seeing it already. Like I said, everyone's kind of being, involved in it. If you're in management and you haven't seen it yet, then get with your supervisor and make sure they're aware. because you should
Right.
be in it, and they just need to request your account to be activated.
And maybe Jan, on the culture side, we've created a regional team for each region. It has an announcement section, and though we false start on the way we were going to use it, but the announcement section will have our newsletter. It'll have announcements for your region, emergency information, et cetera, that'll be posted there. And then we'll have a general discussion area where our culture crew is going to be posting photos. Teams can be just communicating, sharing funny ideas. If you're having a potluck, post the photos from that, and just be a nice, great collection of information that'll make it very, very easy. So we hope to, it's not maybe the same as the social media workplace was, but it's still very, very similar. You'll still be able to reply and like, but we have it nice and it's all built out for each region. So each region can go in and join those teams and see the different channels that are available. And the culture crew's already started posting photos there.
Yes, go check it out. Bill, I think you brought up a good question too. Like if somebody doesn't have access, what do? They go see their supervisor. But if something's not working, what is the process they should follow to get things fixed or ask questions, things of that nature?
Yeah, so we're doing actually a couple of things to address that. One, just so you're aware, I mean, everyone's first response should be you've got a local IT resource available to you in your site, for most of us, or at least part-time in your site. But I think every site except for maybe Clinton right now have a full-time guy dedicated to them. So there should be a resource to you. In IT, we've been using this tool for longer than the rest of the company because we were trying to figure it out and get it understood and then get it configured for everyone else. So we maybe have a little more experience in some things and can help with some questions. And then your local IT resource can certainly reach out for any additional help that they don't know or aren't aware of. And that can all be done either in person or through your current workplace trouble ticketing system, which, by the way, I say that, but in the next few days, so in the next week, essentially, which I don't know when we're going to share this, but the week of March 22nd, that ticket system will go away and we will actually have a ticket system. So that would be a great place to reach out as well. And so there'll be more information coming out, the week of the 22nd around that. So that's certainly a great way to gather information. And then we also have been doing another thing where every month, in fact, we just had one today, our second one. So every month we have a user meeting, is what we're calling it, for Microsoft 365. And that includes everyone on the system. And they can jump on and we're kind of teaching certain topics and looking at the product, giving tips and tricks. And you can also, get on and ask questions in those cases as well. And we'll help to kind of drive things down. Some things we don't know the answer to. So today we had a couple of questions that I don't know the answer to, but next month they'll be on the agenda and we'll be answering those, or individually we'll reach out to those people that were struggling with something or just wanted to know how to do something different. So yeah, so reach out to your local IT or reach out by trouble ticket and open a ticket so that we can help you.
Great. Well, we appreciate you taking a few minutes just to chat with us and share why we've invested in this, because it's been a significant investment for Focus Services. But I think it's going to make us much more efficient and productive and allow us to really communicate with each other around the world. We'll be on one platform, and doesn't matter if you're in the Philippines, you're in El Salvador, or you're like me here in North Carolina. We'll all be able to communicate with one another. So.
Yep.
BenJoe, anything else you'd like to add or ask before we wrap this session up?
No, I just once again, thanks to Bill, Johanna, and all the team. They have been working nonstop. There is so many more features inside of 365 that I don't believe anyone's even really seen what it can do, but I think there's just tremendous potential. I know from a project planning organization, even like our own crisis emergencies, when we've had snowstorms and stuff, we've been able to communicate lightning fast. So thanks to them. Thanks for the hard work you guys are doing. I'm just excited for what this is going to be and hope everybody gets involved.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I think, I appreciate the shout out. It has been a long road and it is a lot of work. All of it kind of underneath the hood, so to speak. And but luckily we have an awesome IT team that's been super involved in helping us get it ready and going. And I think it's really, I don't know that it's totally polished, and we certainly don't know all the answers. And BenJoe, to your point, there's a lot more to the tool than even we're aware of. But it opens the door and gives us some opportunities to go learn those things. So yeah, we're just really excited for it. I think it's going to be a great tool. I've loved it personally, so I think everyone's going to feel the same way.
Oh, great. Well, maybe we can ask you if you'll join us next month and maybe share some top tricks of the trade that you've learned over
Yeah.
the past month to share with the team. I'm sure everyone would like to take advantage of your knowledge. And again, we just appreciate all that you've done to make this a success. And as always, BenJoe and I, we love hearing from our focused family members, and continue to send us suggestions, questions, and we will provide you that feedback. So thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.